Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Crack Java Interview with RK. So today we are going to discuss the top 10 most important Spring Boot annotations which you must know if you want to master Spring Boot and crack interviews. So make sure you watch till the end and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. So let's see. First annotation is @Spring Boot application. It combines three annotations: @configuration, enable auto configuration, @component scan. It marks the main class to bootstrap a Spring Boot application. Example, we have a main class, public class my app, and it annotated with @Spring Boot and application. Okay, so next, @REST controller. It's shortcut for controller annotation plus response body annotation. It is used to create RESTful web services. For example, we have a class my controller and we annotate this with @REST controller. Okay, and next, @request mapping. So it map HTTP request to handle methods. For example, we have a class public class API controller and we annotate is @request mapping and pass the URL /API. It means it will be the base URL for our API. So next will be get mapping, post mapping, put mapping and delete mapping. So it's a specialized shortcut for @request mapping for specific HTTP methods. For example, we use get mapping annotation on a method get user and pass inside this annotation we pass the URL /user/id. Okay, and next, auto wired. It inject dependencies automatically. Example, auto wired. For example, we want to inject dependency of like user service class, so we annotate this @auto wired private user service. Next is component service repository controller. So it used to mark a class as Spring manage bean. Component for generic store type, service for service layer, repository for DAO layer, also handles exceptions, controller for MVC controllers. Next is entity. It used to mark a class as a JPA entity table in the database. For example, we have a class product and we annotate it by @entity annotation. Next is configuration annotation. It is used to define configuration classes. It replaces XML based configuration. For example, we have a class public class app config and we annotate this by @configuration. It means it's a configuration class. Next page, value. It used to inject values from application.properties or application.yml file. For example, we want to inject the value of server port which we define in properties file. So we write private int server port and use annotation @value and pass the name of the field server.port. Last one is 10th @bean annotation. Declare a Spring Bean manually. It used to declare a bean manually. For example, we want to like make a bean of REST template. So we annotate this by @bean annotation. So in this tutorial we cover top 10 most important annotation of Spring Boot, so which you must know. So that's all for this tutorial. See you.